Standing silent in the Egyptian desert for thousands of years, the Great Sphinx of Giza has watched empires rise and fall. But look closely at this ancient guardian, and something doesn't quite fit. The massive stone head seems oddly small compared to the enormous lion's body beneath it. The proportions appear wrong, almost as if someone took a chisel to the original and carved something entirely different. Tonight, we're diving into one of archaeology's most perplexing riddles. Was the Sphinx's head deliberately changed? And if so, what was it hiding? Most people accept the official story without question. We're told the Sphinx was carved around 2500 BCE during the reign of Pharaoh Khafra, with his face immortalized in stone. But when you examine the evidence with fresh eyes, cracks begin to appear in this neat narrative. The head is proportionally too small for the body. The weathering patterns don't match. And perhaps most intriguingly, geological evidence suggests the Sphinx might be far older than anyone wants to admit. Let's start with the most obvious clue: the proportions. Any sculptor will tell you that the human head should be roughly 1/8 the height of the body. But the Sphinx's head is significantly smaller than it should be. This isn't an artistic choice or cultural difference, it's a mathematical impossibility if the monument was carved as a single piece. The only logical explanation is that the original head was larger and was later recarved into something smaller. But here's where it gets interesting. If you study the weathering patterns on the Sphinx, you'll notice something peculiar. The body shows deep vertical erosion channels that could only have been created by thousands of years of rainfall. Yet Egypt has been largely arid for the past 4,500 years. This suggests the body was exposed to a much wetter climate, pushing its creation back to at least 7,000 BCE, possibly much earlier. The head, however, shows completely different weathering patterns. It displays the horizontal erosion typical of wind and sand, consistent with Egypt's dry climate over the past few millennia. This stark difference in weathering between head and body isn't just curious. It's evidence of two distinct time periods of exposure to the elements. So what might the original head have looked like? Some researchers propose it was originally carved as a lion's head, creating a complete lion monument that would have been astronomically aligned with the constellation Leo during its age of prominence around 10,500 BCE. This would explain the perfect proportions and the consistent weathering patterns across the entire body. Others suggest it might have depicted an earlier pharaoh or even a completely different type of figure altogether. Ancient Egyptian texts reference mysterious monuments that predate the dynastic period, monuments that were later restored or renewed by subsequent rulers. Could the Sphinx be one of these ancient structures, modified to serve the propaganda needs of later dynasties? The official archaeological community remains largely silent on these discrepancies. When pressed about the proportional problems, they offer vague explanations about artistic license or suggest that erosion has simply worn away parts of the original head. But these explanations fall apart under scrutiny. Stone doesn't erode selectively in ways that would create such precise geometric inconsistencies. What makes this mystery even more intriguing is the pattern of secrecy surrounding the Sphinx. Access to conduct-detailed geological surveys is strictly limited. Independent researchers who raise uncomfortable questions about the monument's age often find their work dismissed or their access revoked. It's as if someone doesn't want us looking too closely at this ancient puzzle. Recent ground-penetrating radar has revealed the presence of chambers and passages beneath the Sphinx, yet excavation of these areas has been indefinitely postponed. What might these hidden spaces contain? Are they simply empty voids, or do they hold evidence that would rewrite our understanding of ancient history? The implications of a recarved Sphinx extend far beyond archaeology. If this monument is indeed much older than officially claimed, it suggests that advanced civilizations existed thousands of years before we thought possible. It challenges our entire timeline of human development and raises uncomfortable questions about what other facts might need revision. Perhaps the most unsettling possibility is that the answer to this mystery exists somewhere in restricted archives, locked away from public scrutiny. The truth about the Sphinx's original appearance might be known, but deemed too disruptive to reveal. As we stand before this ancient enigma, one thing becomes clear: the Sphinx is keeping secrets. Whether those secrets died with ancient carvers, or rest hidden in sealed chambers below, the mystery endures. Sometimes the most profound questions aren't about what we can see, but about what someone decided we shouldn't.